It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Waking Up with Wesley is sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm senior meteorologist Wesley Williams. Happy first day of fall. Will we see some fall weather today? Maybe not, but give it some time if you're patient enough, and you might actually get some fall weather later this week, perhaps. So there's a look at fall officially starting today. And as we take a look at the change of the seasons. So technically, if you want to be super technical about it, 1:19 p.m. today, that's what's known as the autumnal equinox. It's the exact moment that the sun's rays will be angled directly over the equator. And that's what officially ushers in the calendar season of fall. It's called an equinox because around the fall season, you tend to see equal amounts of night and day. Equinox, equal night is Latin. And so that's why you see the sunrise 6:45 today, sunset 6:54, and that's about 12 hours of daylight. You'll also notice that the same thing happens in the spring. If you look on the left side of the screen there, it says sunrise 7 in the morning, sunset 7:07 p.m., so about 12 hours of daylight. Now, of course, we know the summer days, they're longer, and so you get more duration of daylight. Summer's sunrise 5:55 before 6 in the morning, and the sun doesn't go down until after 8 o'clock at night. So you get those longer days. You get more than 12 hours there. And then, of course, the winter, you get shorter days, shorter duration of daylight. You get fewer than 12 hours of daylight in the winter season. The sun doesn't come up until almost 7 in the morning. But the real big deal is that the sun sets about 5 p.m. It starts to get dark like after 4:30 in the afternoon. So those short days of winter are approaching as we move away from the long days of summer. And right now we're in the equal part, the middle grounds, the Goldilocks area, if you will, where there's just the right amount of day, just the right amount of night as we go into the fall season. Now, if you want to be technical about it, like I said, that moment not until 1:19. So technically, right now, as we're talking 8 o'clock in the morning, it is still technically summer. It won't be fall until 1:19 p.m. on Monday. Now, what we're tracking this week, of course, it is a muggy start, but there's hope. There's hope. If you're hoping for some fall weather, this is what I'm tracking. Rain chance coming in middle of the week, primarily Wednesday night into Thursday. That's going to be with a fall cool front. And there could be some strong thunderstorms with that. We do have a marginal risk of flooding, a marginal risk of severe weather, both of those on level 1. So the low risk, low probability, but it is there. It can't be ruled out. Maybe a strong storm or two that leads to frequent lightning, gusty winds, heavy flooding downpours. That will be a possibility Wednesday night into Thursday. And then after that, the weather turns drier. Friday into the weekend, it will feel drier with lower humidity. So that's how you can look forward to a fall feel, maybe not for the first day of fall, but instead for the first weekend of fall. So there's a look at the planner for this Monday, September 22nd. And as you can see, it looks like a pretty nice looking day. You'll notice that those winds are coming in from the south, and that's from the Gulf, so that's why it's feeling muggier. Much of last week we had winds from the east or maybe even from the northeast, and it didn't feel as muggy because we were tapping into some drier air. But today we're tapping into muggier air, that wind from the Gulf, and it could get a little breezy by the beaches. You can see those numbers at the bottom of the screen showing 10 to 15 miles per hour along the coast, whereas inland, not quite as breezy, but still gentle breeze, around 10 miles an hour. So around 10 miles an hour inland and around up to 15 miles an hour down by the beach. Rain chances are not all that high today, but it is not zero. So don't be surprised if there's a few pop-up showers and storms at times on Monday. Rain chance 20 to 30%. But this is what we can look forward to. Like I said, the first part of the week, muggy. It's muggy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we get those rain showers and maybe a few thunderstorms on Thursday. And then the cool front passes and the weather turns drier heading into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, cool front is actually an area of low pressure. It's an elongated area of low pressure. So you can actually see exactly what happens here. We start off the week with generally some weak high pressure that's in control on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Your standard barometric air pressure is about 1013. So anytime you're over 1013, generally high pressure. Anytime you're under 1013 millibars, generally lower pressure. And we see the pressure start to drop as that front approaches Wednesday to Thursday to Friday. And then the front moves off to our east, off to our south later in the day on Friday. And high pressure starts to build back in for the weekend. And so that's how we can get to some drier conditions over the weekend. And something to look forward to. So here's a look at the map. Today, there's going to be some heavier rains mainly to our north over parts of Arkansas, parts of Tennessee. We still have that dry high pressure located east of us, but with the clockwise winds around that high, that's helping to pull in some wind from the Gulf. And so that's why there's just enough mugginess in the air today that maybe we could see a few pop-up showers and storms. Now, as we take a look at tomorrow, we go from Monday to Tuesday, that high pressure moves a little bit more away from us, making way for that cool front coming in. And with that cool front approaching, there will be more rain over Oklahoma and Arkansas. Along the coast, only a few pop-up showers and storms, but not really much in the way of rain as we head into Tuesday. Now, for Wednesday, that's going to be the day when we start to see more rain popping up across the Magnolia State as that cool front approaches from the northwest. Now, there's some nuance to this. I don't think that most of the rain will get down to South Mississippi until mainly overnight into Thursday. So we're really not looking at a really high chance for rain on Wednesday based on the latest timing information, but it does look like by the time we get to Thursday, that's when South Mississippi could see that. We actually do have the futurecast. Here's Wednesday's futurecast so you can get a better idea of this rain timing. And we can see that Wednesday morning, it doesn't show much rain in the area. And then we get to Wednesday afternoon, a few pop-up showers, but most of the rain is in northern Mississippi. And then we get to Wednesday evening, again, most of the rain not really down here along the coast. But then by Wednesday night, we begin to see that cool front moving in. And that's when we could see that better chance for rain after midnight Wednesday night, which is also called Thursday. So Thursday will be our highest day of rain chances. They might begin before the sun comes up during the overnight hours, but you'll notice that front as it pushes in from the northwest, the map over the Mississippi coast showing rain Thursday in the morning, Thursday in the afternoon, possibly Thursday in the evening. So we'll see some on and off scattered showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. And maybe some of the rain could be heavy at times. You do see a yellow color there, indicating the potential for some heavier rain. Now, by the time we get to after midnight Thursday night, which is also called Friday, that's when we'll begin to see that drier air moving in behind the front. So when you look at a 5-day rain potential, the best day for rain potential is Thursday, even though it might start before the sun comes up and it might keep going after the sun goes down. I don't think Wednesday is going to be as high of a rain potential because the rain might not come down until the sun goes down. So during the daylight hours Wednesday, it's not really a whole lot of rain chance locally. And then by the time the sun comes up on Friday, the rain probably will be all gone. So it's a drier day. So your best day of rain potential really is the one day, Thursday. And our models are pretty good agreement on that, showing a flat line on Monday, Tuesday, the line ticking up a little bit on Wednesday, and then sharply increasing on Thursday, and then flatlining again going into Friday and the upcoming weekend. Shows about 1 to 2 inches of rain. So again, can't rule out maybe some spotty heavier downpours with this. There is a non-zero risk of flooding rain. It's a level 1 out of 4. There's also a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. Now, the payoff is once we get through those rain chances, which, by the way, is a chance, not a guarantee. You don't see 100% there. So, you know, we've been in such a drought that I have a small sense of skepticism about how much rain this could bring us. It will not be enough rain to bust the drought, but any little bit helps, so we'll take whatever we can get. And then we run out of the rain chances by the weekend. which, by the way, the first weekend of fall, mwah, looking fall-tastic. Now, it's not going to be like completely crisp air, but it will be less humid, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy that. So if you're one of those fall weather lovers and you're kind of bummed out today on Monday that it's not really giving us that fall feel, it's kind of muggy today, just look forward to the weekend. Just be patient. Wait 4 or 5 days by the time we get to Friday, but then definitely by Saturday, Sunday, there will be a bit more of that fall feel, a little bit lower humidity, and cooler mornings too. The afternoons are still going to be pretty warm, but there won't be much rain either. So not much rain to get in the way of walking outside over the weekend and kind of enjoying that refreshing feel. But by the way, those mornings, looking at 60s on Friday morning, 60s on Saturday morning, 60s on Sunday morning. So there will be some cooler mornings down the line. You know, perfect for your fall wardrobe, perhaps, in the mornings. It will still be warm in the afternoons, but in the mornings, you'll be able to enjoy wearing more of your fall wardrobe. We do have a 10-day forecast for both of our zones. The zone you're looking at here in this 7-day is mainly along the coast, mainly for places to the south of Interstate 10. But if we show you the coast and the inland areas, and we'll make this larger on your screen, you'll notice that we do find even cooler mornings for inland areas. So focus on Friday. Friday looks like a high of 87 on the coast, a high of 87 inland, but it's the low, the little blue number in the white box. Friday morning, 68 on the coast. Friday morning, 65 for areas mainly north of I-10 or areas that are away from the water. But then the cool, really cool mornings coming in Saturday morning, Sunday morning, 67 on the coast, but inland could find 62. I mean, we're almost talking about 50s. That's 3 degrees away from the 50s that we're forecasting Saturday morning in a place like Wiggins, Sunday morning in a place like Lucedale. Anywhere that's north of I-10, you got the inland forecast there. Van Cleve, 62 on Saturday morning. The Kiln, Picayune, Poplarville, Saussure. Some parts of St. Martin and Woolmarket, Lyman, Orange Grove, you know, all those places inland. You can look forward to some, you know, pretty almost chilly mornings there over the weekend. So that's what we've got for you for this first week of fall. A muggy start, a rainy middle, and then a dry finish for the first week of fall 2025. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. We'll catch you again next time. Till then, take care.
Waking Up with Wesley has been sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.